Well, you're joining us on the Waited to Win, proudly brought to you by Betway, the proud new sponsors of the local soccer league, the PSL. Massive deal, a historic deal, and we certainly look forward to the great advancement of local soccer. Well, welcome to our racing preview. We're looking at racing coming through from Greyville, Hollywood Bets Greyville, as we bring the curtain down officially today. The 31st of July, that is a 2023-2024 season, officially coming to an end with the running of the eighth and final locally, and starts again tomorrow, the 1st of August, and where the horses all turn a year older. All right, let's not spend too much time on the what was, but look ahead to what is, and that is Greyville Racing. We have a bipod starting in race number 1, and that is at 20 to 1. And it gives me a great pleasure to welcome Gary John Citron, who is going to preview the mating for us in KZN. Gary John, we are looking forward to a good end of season. We've got a scratching of the first, number 6, Smashing. Welcome to you, first of all.
How's it, Cecil? Morning, eh? Thanks for having me on the show again. And yes, let's see if we can get the money today.
Indeed. Let's have a look at where the money is in race number 1. It seems like that Trippy T form line could be the one to follow. I don't know if you have any other ideas, but it's the 9 World of Pharaoh who tops the board 16 to 10. Also out of that form line behind the Trippy T is Iskalaba. That is number 5, and that is at 24 to 10. Now, both of them haven't been on the poly. Does that worry you at all?
Not really, eh, Cecil. This field, yeah, I think it's a very, very weak field. I must agree with you with the Trippy T form line. It seems like the form line to follow in this race. I know Silver Savage come out to win, and of course, called Capellino ran a really good race after that. World Pharaoh would be my first choice in this race, but I am playing to beat it. I find a lot of value in Feather Dancer. Something that catches my eye with Feather Dancer is that it used to be with Clinton Binder, and when I see it said it never ran with shoes last time, and I'm pretty sure it hasn't run with shoes in most of its run. Now it's gone to Gary Rich, and it's got the shoes that the Alamites on. So I think this horse could be the diamond in the rough here, because obviously maybe a little bit of a gin strike, if you want to call it. And there was another horse in this race. I was very in between as my value bet is another horse called To the Star, to the Stars and Back. I know it has Feather Dancer held by a length and a bit, but obviously now Feather Dancer with the Alamites on, I had to lean towards it. I'm going to be backing Feather Dancer and To the Stars and Back in this race, and I'm definitely going to take an exacta Banker 9 by 2 and 7
Thank you so
in case one of them get beat.
Thank you so much, and I think that will be the best way to go through that first leg of the bipod. As we mentioned, the top 2 haven't been on the poly yet. So 2, 7, and 9, the value bet number 2. Feather Dancer, first runner for the Gary Rich stable with Cole Dickin in the saddle. All right, so we're through the first leg of the bipod by this time, and it is the time to look ahead to the PA, starting at the 13 of 15. It is a maiden plate for fillies and mares over the 1,400 meters. Please note the 5 Varia's Palace will retain the blinkers, and the blinkers are removed off the 6 Lady Eli Mo. All right, let's have a quick look at the top 2, and of course the favorite is number 12, Terminal Velocity, 17 to 10. That is Serena Moodley for the stable of Gareth Van Sale. It's a 15 to 4, the second favorite, and that's 3. So the sweep. Right, as far as number 4 is concerned, Mr. Gary John, I see our Tipson computer form has made Safe and Sound his best bet of the day. Could be value if he's on the market, and that is at 5 to 1. Do you include Safe and Sound anywhere at all?
Cecil, Safe and Sound is my best bet for the day. I'm absolutely shocked at the price that I think it's at 5 to 1 right now. Its last run was an absolute brilliant run in a listed race with Whistle the Tune. It ran against winners. It was a great run. Even the run before that was a very, very good run. Speaking on number 12, Terminal Velocity, I think the winner of that race is a nice horse, but I'm not convinced on this form line, and I see this horse at drawn 12 on the poly for the first time. If it jumps a bit slow, it's going to be very hard to make up the ground. I am very, very, very confident on Safe and Sound. I don't want to know about it losing. And also, if you guys want to play it safe, it's 9 to 10 top three. I cannot see it missing the top three. This is a great bet.
Thank you so much. And computer form, going with the same idea of a best bet, and that is safe and sound of 4 in race number 2, Muzieni for the Duncan Al stable and the ownership, Mrs. H. Kuhn. All right, don't forget, you can get in touch with us as to the highlights of your season. As we know, Thunderstruck is off to stud. A very, very useful insert that we played out on a 240. And of course, the thoughts about the new football season locally, which starts with the brand new spanking sponsorship of Betway. All right, let's get to race number 3, a conditional maiden. This will see the start of our Pick 6 race number 3 as we go through the Greyville Polytrack card, the last race meeting locally of the season. And we've got co-favorites. That is numbers 1, Elusive Bell, and the 9, Ruby Claire. Both at 24 to 10, and then it's 11 to 4 by the 5 November Boogie, 17 to 2, and a better bar those. Now, if the betting is correct, Mr. Gary John, are we saying that this is a 3-cornered contest? Nothing else can really upset those 3?
I definitely have to agree with you over here, Cecil. The one thing that puts me off Elusive Bell, its last 2 runs on the poly weren't the best runs. Its last run on the grass was a good run, but its polyform, I'm still a little bit suspect of. I really liked November Boogie's last run. It was game. It fought back. Also, once again there, the extra step up in distance, I'm not sure of. And its 1 run on the poly was 11.3 lengths behind. I think Ruby Claire could be the right horse here. The stable's in super form. Just the draw. But I see this race between 5 and 9.
5 and 9 are the 2 that should fight out the finisher to race the number 3. Please take note that it is an off time of 10 minutes to 2 to that first leg of the Pick 6, the conditional maiden, for fillies and mares over the 1800 meters. And there's Ruby Claire, currently one of your co-favorites at 24 to 10, a Serena Moodley, and once again teaming up with the Gareth Van Sale stable. Nothing has changed as far as our contact details are concerned. We've got that X handle, and we've also got the alternative. That is our WhatsApp number, which constantly plays out on the screen. All right, so we're getting into race number 4, and there has been a massive change at the top to race number 4. Now, we were looking at a very informed 12 Woodland. Glade has certainly thrived since campaigning in the KZN, still under the tutelage of trainer Mike de Kock. That was a 28 to 10 favorite overnight, and I see is now as big as 15 to 4. 4 True Love's Kisses at 4 to 1. The 7 Canford Queen has been nibbled at 5 to 1. 7's about the 3 Ideal Gift, 7 to 1. Also an inward move about the 8 Way to Burn. 1 scratching the 13 Radu. I think all I can say here, Mr. Gary John, take it away because it is looking trappy.
Yeah, this race, Cecil, is I give every single horse a chance in this race. I found it very hard to dissect. If there was any horses, obviously Woodland Glade's last run does have the strongest form in the race, but does have a 12 draw to contest with. There were some really nice horses in that field. I gave a small chance to a horse called Ladies World. It ran a good race, a 3.9 lengths Great Plains, even its Cape Town form. Its last time to 4.9 lengths Grandeur Ritchie was not a bad run. Grandeur Ritchie's unbeaten on the poly track. I mean, there's a bit of value in Ladies World, yeah, but this race here, very tough to dissect. I can't give too much confidence in this race.
And I think you proved you are human after all. It is a very trappy race, number 4. Thank you, Gary John. Number 6, Ladies World. Certainly does look to be the good value there at 11 to 1. That sees the Crawford Rick stable team up with Muzieni, who gets off Woodland Glade after riding it the last 3 times. And it teams up with the Western Cape stable of Miss Michelle Ricks and trainer Harold Crawford. All right, let's move on to the first leg of Jackpot 2. We're into the second half of an 8-race program as we bring the curtain down on the 2023-2024 season. And it is a merit rated 70 over the 1900. 4 to 1 is what you can get about the ultra-consistent number 3, Eventidor, one of several that will be in the colors of the ownership, the other being the 5 all around the world. But the second favorite, number 7, King Bavarian, 11 to 2, the 9 Code of Conduct, who I see is first choice for Jermaine Maharaj margin in computer form. That is at 6-1, 7-1, and better bar those. Well, you can't fault the consistency of Aventador and that course and distance form. Gary John, 5 runs for 2 wins, a second and a fourth is none too shabby.
Of course, Cecil, this horse here, Aventador, has a lot of horses held. I mean, I also like a little bit of Tom's Act and Aventador there. Hard to separate, another hard race. But one horse I want to talk about, it's 28-1. It's Pascali. It's very under the radar. It ran 5 lengths Master Fuego, which ran in the Gold Cup. Then it runs 2.3 lengths Willow Express. Not a bad run. But how's the run to Vihan's Bomb? Four and a half lengths to Vihan's Bomb. There is so much value in this race, in this horse. I mean, if you can't get hurt at the price, it's worth wins and places. But I mean, on its last 3 runs, these horses are decent horses. I really feel this horse is priced up completely wrong. I'm not saying it's going to definitely be there, but you have to take the 30-1 on that form against these horses because it actually has run against stronger than this field.
And what is good is it has had a couple of runs on the poly and they were not too shabby. In fact, 8 runs on the poly for a couple of seconds, a couple of fourths and a third are thrown in there as well. So I think thank you very much on behalf of those who like value, and the 8 Pascali does fall into that category. Scratched are the 2 reserves, numbers 13 and 14, race 5. All right, we've got a nice race to look forward to as we get into the first leg of the last pick 3 at Hollywood Bets Craven on this Wednesday, 31st of July, rather. We look forward to 1st of August and the start of a new season. All right, so there are our contract details. In the meantime, let me just give you a verbal look at what sort of betting we have. Number 10, Kimball O'Hara, and the 12, Moya Wala Liga, both co-favorites at 4-1. The former having been backed in from 9-2 to 4-1. Number 4, Paka Imali, is at 5-1. Number 1, Preemptive Bid, 6-1, 13-2, and a better bar those. While still a bit competitive, Mr. Gary John, after losing the 3, Kanyasindlela, and the 5, Green Scepter, we have a 10-runner field, and it is a nice race to look forward to.
Yes, Cecil, I made this a 3-horse race. I like numbers 1, 10, and 12. Let me tell you about number 12. I've backed it the last 3 times. I've run third, second, very unlucky. I do see it, a preemptive strike does have it held, but today it's going over the 1400. Only problem is it's draw 12, preemptive strikes drawn 1. Hard to separate, but I'm still going to give this horse another chance, Moya Wala Liga. I think it's definitely worth a bet. Its last run was a great run on the grass. Kimball O'Hara, I really do like it. Its previous form, the race it won last time was not the strongest field, but also its poly forms very up and down like a yo-yo. Hard to trust, but definitely can pop up. I think 1, 10, and 12 should get you through the PA over there. I'm definitely going to have a bet on number 12, Moya La Liga. I'm going to give it one more chance. And obviously, the Funzale yard's absolutely firing, so I have to lean towards that.
Yes, indeed. And again, another fancied horse. This is a bit of value, though, at 4-1. That is Serena Moodley and trainer Gareth Van Sale Jr. once again. That is Moya Wala Liga, looking for win number 4 at the 27th time of asking. All right, let's get into that last opportunity of a double at Hollywood Bets Greyville on this last day of the current season. And again, another very competitive race lies ahead of us. We do have the scratching of the 10 Willow Express, another one, unfortunately, due to logistical problems from the Terry stable, couldn't make the trip out to down to the coast, and that is a KZN. www.tabgold.co.za, merit rated 74, 1400 meters a trip, a field reduced to 11 runners, and the favorite right now is the number 7, Porfirio, and that is at 9-2. Number 9, Imaginable, into 9-2 from 5-1. That is a bit of support, and also big support for a runner that has certainly been flying in KZN. Once upon a time with Ashley Fortune up here on the Highveld, Pour Some Sugar on Me, back on the potty, and that is now into 11-2 from 15-2. 6-1 and better bar those. Gary John, before you give us your selections, I want to know, Crested Eagle, will that ever find some of its 3-year-old form?
Cecil, this horse is also, I've also followed it a few times. There's nothing wrong with it. there's that one run that sticks out to me. I know it's at the Scottsville, 4.4 lengths, William Robinson. But I remember if I look past that, this horse definitely can pop up. I added it into my bets. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you want to put a few rand on it. If, like I said, if it comes back to its best, it can beat this field. Then number 2, Fate of Fortune. Please ignore its last run. I don't believe that was a true run. I think at the price, it's also worth a nice bet. I give it a big chance, yeah. And then this horse Captain Who keeps sticking out to me. I think also I feel if this horse was to come back to its best, it can definitely beat this field. I mean, it's got the draw, it's got everything. I've taken a big chance here with 1, 2, and 4 in a lot of my bets. Also speaking on that horse, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Nothing wrong with that form. I found this a very hard race. I'm going to try beat Porphyrio Inimaginable. And then also even just looking at Stars in Heaven, it's coming from Cape Town. Got to have some respect for it. But this race, yeah, it's a very hard race.
Thank you so much. And you're a man after my own heart. Value is the name of the game. And certainly 1, 2, and 4, if that box swing or box exacta does come through, should be a very good bet indeed. Okay, so we will be looking at race number 8 off at 4:45 this afternoon as the official end of our local season. It's a Fillies and Mares 68. It's over the 1,000 meters and just going through the changes, no changes. The field of 10 will face up now. The favorite retains favoritism, and that is the Michael Miller Tristan Gordon runner number 10 at Discerning. Was as short as 13-5 overnight and has blown out to 15-4. Number 1 Vision of Will is at 11-2, 13-2, the 8, and that is Prankster. 7's about numbers 2 Sweet Julia and the 4 Bearded Gown. Now why I continue with the betting, Gary John, because there has been a strike on the 6 of Calling All Angels, who takes a drop in class. Paul Lafferty and the Vernus family, 14-1 is now into 8-1. And before you give us an answer, by the way, our horse that we were talking about in race 7, Crested Eagle, has been shortened in from 19-1 to 14-1.
Sure. Already. I was also, funny enough, I kept on looking at this horse Calling All Angels last night. I thought it was priced up wrong. The horse that it ran behind, Gorgeous Girl, is a really top sort and highly rated. Let's just go back to its earlier form. I mean, it ran 14 lengths Winter Clouds, not a bad run. 11 lengths Mrs. Geriatrics, another good run. I mean, those runs there, I mean, this horse does have ability and can definitely pop up in this field. Just looking at drive by, I think the 1,000 could be too short for it. Number 10, Discerning, a 2-year-old filly carrying 61 kilos against older horses. I think it's going to be very hard from draw 10. Also brings really nice form into this race. One other horse here, my first choice here was Bearded Gown. I know it used to be with the cock. It is in the weight. Some horses do have it held, but I just think today it might actually get it right. Last time I had a bet on it, it got pipped on the line. I think it's found the right form, the right race, and also it's got the draw, right distance, not much wrong with it. And another thing is this horse here in After, I know it's carrying a lot of weight. I think the price it's priced up at 12-1. I mean, it's won its last 3 races. There's a saying, back a horse until it loses, eh?
That is correct. That is correct. And I think here in After, as you say, until it loses. But Bearded Gown, I think Barron Borders could have gotten to the bottom of the extra cock charge. That's been Gary John and his selections for Hollywood Bets, a Greyville Polytrack meeting that brings the curtain down on our season. Thanks very much to Gary John at Citron.